Part 2 starts from here.
We have studied about fundamental quantities. Now let us understand what are fundamental units. The units associated with fundamental quantities are known as fundamental units. As discussed earlier, the units are nothing but the standard used for measuring the physical quantities in the measuring bowls. And here we are talking about fundamental quantities, so the units associated with these fundamental quantities are known as fundamental units. Now, what are fundamental units? How are we gonna define them? So here is the answer. Fundamental units have two important points associated with them. The first point is they cannot be derived from one another. Here I have taken the fundamental quantity as mass and its unit as kg. Here the length is the fundamental quantity and the unit is meter, and the fundamental quantity is time and the unit is second. Now if I ask you, is kg related to meter somehow, or meter is related to second somehow? No, they are not. Like if I change kg into gram, nothing will happen to meter and nothing will happen to second. Similarly, if I change second into hours or hours into say a minute, nothing will happen to meter or kg. So the units associated with the fundamental quantities are also independent of each other. They are not dependent on each other. So here was the first point. Second point, which can neither be changed nor can be related to any other fundamental units. Here we are talking about three fundamental units, that is kg, meter and second. I cannot change kg to meter, or I cannot change meter to second. I cannot write 4 kg is equals to 5 meter, or I cannot write say 5 meter is equals to 10 second, or I cannot change 10 seconds to say 5 kg here. No, I cannot do that. None of them are possible. So they are not related to each other. They cannot be changed into one another. So these were the 2 points worth noting about fundamental units. The first, they are independent of any other unit, and they cannot be changed, neither can be related to any other fundamental unit in one respect or the other. Now, one more thing I would like to tell you about fundamental units is there another name by which they are known. Fundamental units are also known as basic unit or base units. While watching some video, if somebody says basic or the base units, they are actually talking about fundamental units. Now, let us study some examples of fundamental quantities and their units. As discussed earlier, that right now we have three fundamental quantities, that is mass, length and time, and the fundamental units associated with them are kilogram for mass, the meter for length, and the second for time. I've told you about these three fundamental quantities, and I have also discussed about that the units of mass, length and time are independent of each other. So before ending this video, I would like to give you a simple example from a daily life so that the concept of fundamental quantities and the units, that they're not dependent on each other and they're not related to each other, is clear. So just a simple example. An example of Uncle's Ben long grain rice, and the mass of this rice box is 500 gram. So now if I keep this rice intact for 2 years without hampering it, without taking any rice, and just keeping it untouched for 2 years, what do you think? The mass of this long grain rice will change? Like will it decrease from 500 to say 400 gram, or it will get increased to say 700 gram? Do you think this will happen? No, that will not happen. I am taking a condition when we are keeping it untouched. Similarly, for 2 years, if I'm keeping this rice, the length of this box will neither change, neither the amount of rice will increase in this box unless and until I put someone. I'm talking about the conditions here when it is untouched. So nothing will happen to it. So as you can see here that the units are independent of each other. That means gram is independent of years, and the years is independent of gram. The value of the mass will not change with the time, and similarly the value of this length, whatever is the length here, that will not change with time. So this was the example telling you that mass, length, and time are independent of each other. That is why they are known as fundamental quantities, and the units associated with them, that is kg, meter, and second, are fundamental units. Thank you very much for watching this video. For more videos, you can visit our website transelearning.com. Have a great day.